Hello, 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 and what is going on, everybody? It is Master of the TDS, and I am joined with my lovely wife,
Riding Raven.
And we're back for another episode of Psychosynopsis.
Indeed.
The segment where we summarize all the Psycho for you. Just a scattering of topics throughout the week, all summarized into a neat little package for you to enjoy and consume at your leisure.
You are welcome.
We have some interesting topics to cover today, as usual. But before we begin, just a reminder that you can now join the channel if you so choose to.
At the dusk, midnight, or dawn level.
We will be having member streams in the near future, so stay tuned for information about that. No pressure to join, just throwing it out there.
Yes.
With that said,
let us bring in our first client, the late Bernard Cribbins, 1928 to 2022.
Godspeed. May you find peace.
And may your memory be a blessing.
Bernard Cribbins looks on after receiving the annual J.M. Barrie Award for a lifetime of unforgettable work for children on stage, film, television, and record at the Radio Theatre Broadcasting House in London on November 13th, 2014. Cribbins has died at the age of 93.
And this news hit us really hard when we found out.
So, for those of you who don't know, obviously he's very well known, but what we mainly know him from
is Donna Noble's grandfather on Doctor Who.
Yeah, and one of the things that I liked about him the most was that he had this uncanny ability to portray emotions very genuinely.
Oh, yes.
He was an amazing actor. I will always remember him as Wilf.
Absolutely, always as Wilf. I saw the news that he had passed, and I was like, no, not Wilf!
Yeah, me too. It was rough to hear. He always kind of gave off that, like, elderly grandfather vibe, and that was what he was playing in the show, so it kind of worked. Apparently, he was seen filming some scenes for the 60th of Doctor Who. Now, I have no plans to watch the 60th, but I might have to change those plans just to honor his memory if it turns out to be something where they do him justice.
If they do him justice, and it's a pretty big if, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about bad things at this point.
Yeah.
We were so saddened to hear of his loss. We send our heartfelt condolences to his family and any of his remaining relatives, and just know that he made an impact on a lot of different people in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
Godspeed, sir.
Indeed. Let's move on. On a bit of a lighter note, next up we have He-Man.
I have
no clue what I am doing.
With fan trust in his Etherean efforts almost non-existent, thanks to his having lied about his plans to bench the beloved hero for Teela in Masters of the Universe Revelations, series showrunner Kevin Smith has promised fans that He-Man will appear in every episode of the Revival line's next entry, Masters of the Universe Revolutions.
I'll believe it when I see it.
How about no? Look, if he came out and apologized to Clownfish TV, who were right, maybe then I would be willing to ponder the idea that he had changed his ways.
Unfortunately, ponder is too big of a word for him.
Regardless, do you think we're stupid?
Yes, apparently.
You already tried to fool us once. We didn't fall for it. Then, your big plan is, well, they were big mad, so I'm gonna fix it. Oh, He-Man's in everything, believe me! And why should we believe you exactly?
When you lie once, you can never be fully trusted again. That's just how it works.
Again, could he do things that, might bring trust back? Absolutely. Could he actually be meaning it and actually planning to do something good? That could be.
Possibly, but I'll believe it when I see it, and I really would like him to apologize to Clownfish.
Yeah, we're not planning on watching this. Again, if we hear good things about it, maybe that's something we'd look into. But you misunderstand, Kevin. It's not that you were wrong. It's that when you were caught, you doubled down and tried to blame fans, and now you're like, please believe me. No. When you insult people When you insult the people who are watching or consuming your product, you do it a disservice. And you not only said that, but you came out and said how Netflix pretty much didn't even care.
That's a very bad image on Netflix. No wonder they probably told you to be quiet.
We're surprised that you're even getting another season of this show.
Yeah, seriously, how did that get greenlit?
I don't know. Long story short here is that, Kevin, you can scream, cry, and do whatever you want. I guess that's what you're good at. But no one's going to believe you this time.
Not at all.
Instead, you now need to win us back by proving your word. Saying it alone is meaningless.
Actions speak louder than words, as they say.
Apologize to Clownfish TV, and maybe we'll consider putting some faith in you. Until then,
We shall move on.
bye, Kevin. You have no power here.
None at all. Moving on. Next up, we have Marvel Phase Dive.
According to Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige, the decision to move on from Phase 4 without a major crossover end cap was made not because the studio currently lacks direction, it totally is, but okay, but rather because each individual film in the shared cinematic universe is now akin to its own crossover event, a justification that directly contradicts his previous claim that Doctor Strange was cut from WandaVision in order to avoid commoditizing the franchise.
Well then, I have no idea what to say about that.
Basically, they're planning now to, instead of continuing with Phase 4, they have now pushed Phase 4 away, and they're going on to Phase 5, or as I like to call it, Marvel Phase Dive, because it's going to take a dive from here.
Yes, with probably a lot of gore splatter.
And you can see, look at all the things coming up. Hey, honey, are any of these interesting to you?
Not really. Actually, not at all.
I mean, I'm looking at it, and it's like Quantumania, not really interested. Secret Invasion, not really interested. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, maybe a little.
Just a little bit.
Echo, no. Loki, no.
Nah.
The Marvels, hell no. Blade,
Meh.
no. Ironheart, I'm interested in for one reason and one reason only.
And what is that reason?
It is because I hate the character with a fiery passion, and I will so much enjoy ripping it a new one and making sure that everybody knows how terrible and bad this is going to be.
Honey, I think you've just given people a reason to make us do an Ironheart review.
Oh, let me at her. I will rip her a new one.
What?
No, back it.
Meow! But you give me such a good segue!
Agatha Coven of Chaos?
Coven of Chaos, Agatha does not need her own series. She's supposed to be Wanda's teacher, and she's supposed to be a crone!
Daredevil Born Again.
I worry about that one.
Are we doing this like trend? Because first off, it was Thor finding himself, right?
4 times.
And now it's like Daredevil, who was already born again, is now going to be born again.
How many times can you do resurrection? Trust me, Trust me, I know resurrection. And it is not good for the psyche. At all.
Not even that. It's just like, I don't care. It's going to be by Charlie Cox, and that's great. And I mean, I love him as Daredevil. But I don't trust Disney as far as I can throw them. And let's be honest, it's not something I want to throw anyways.
Yeah, except in the trash.
Yeah, that's true. Captain America New World Order.
That title is already a red flag for me.
The problem with that is that unless old Steve Rogers is picking up his shield,
Or Bucky.
there's no Captain America in the Captain America movie.
Yeah.
But Falcon's Captain America now. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what?
No.
When I think of Captain America, it will always be Steve Rogers. Can Falcon have the shield? Absolutely. Can Falcon be Falcon with Captain America's shield? Absolutely.
But he is not Captain America.
And it is not because of racism or skin color. It is because I do not see anyone, including Bucky, as Captain America, except for Steve. That's just how it works. You want to give him the shield? I'm totally for it. You want me to call him Captain America? No.
Yeah.
I'll call him Captain Falcon. And then Thunderbolts, which...
How are they gonna do that when they haven't even really brought back the leader? And they haven't even introduced Red Hulk yet.
Don't give them ideas, honey. They're totally gonna do that. I could care less. look, at this point, you really need to take a step back. And again, if you like this stuff and you find enjoyment from it, that's totally fine. But looking at all this, you'd be disingenuous to say that it doesn't look like a lot of content put into one little area. And again, it's just so much stuff. It's just like, how is the quality going to be?
Bad.
Because, again, it's like just like you're throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, and it's just like, I'm not interested in that. You know, it's an oversaturation of this kind of content, and it doesn't mean that there might not be a couple gems in here, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, I wasn't interested to begin with, and I'm not going to get interested based on what I'm seeing here.
The only one I'm really curious about is Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but that's mainly because they still have yet to introduce Adam Warlock as an actual character, and because them bringing back past Gamora after, you know, real Gamora is dead, it's just so reality breaking. I wish they had brought Kang back at the end of Endgame! Or introduced Kang at the end of Endgame, I should say.
It's okay, we're gonna get Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, except there are no Avengers.
Yeah, and it's the weird Kang from Loki Season 1, which is not Kang! It makes me so mad!
Easy there.
Let me kill something!
No.
Let me bloodlust!
I'm covering her mouth. Let's move on to the next part. Let's move on now.
Yeah, okay. Next up we have She-Hulk.
Stupid.
Please watch, we have cameos!
To the surprise of few, the latest previews for She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, have confirmed that Marvel's next Disney Plus outing will be a textbook example of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's current direction, as not only will the series portray the Jade Giantess as stronger and more competent version of Bruce, but also change her comic book origin in order to make her story more independent from her male cousins.
Because white man bad!
That, and there's gonna be cameos from Daredevil and a bunch of other people like Wong.
And Frogman and the Wrecking Crew.
Who isn't the Wrecking Crew?
Yeah, because they look horrible.
If we want to see cameos done well, I'll go watch Spider-Man No Way Home again.
Absolutely.
If I want to see cameos done badly, I'm still not gonna watch your crap.
Yeah. All of it is just bad. Anything you can do, I can do better.
We're gonna get copyright claims stopping right now.
But it's acapella. How do you get copyright claim for acapella?
Don't ask.
Don't you, YouTube!
It's better we don't risk it.
Okay, fine.
It's basically gonna be a thing where you could see, like in the trailer, it's her throwing stones farther or whatever, and people are trying to say, well, Hulk isn't trying then.
Really?
It's still weird that she's perfect at everything beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And changing her origin from I'm dying and I need a blood transfusion to I got some Hulk blood on me, oh no, I ingested it, oh no.
Yeah, because if anybody has watched the old Hulk movie, when Stan Lee's cameo drank a bit of Hulk's blood, he pretty much died.
Yeah, so I guess, is there a Stan Hulk somewhere now? No. To be fair, unfortunately, Stan Lee's no longer with us.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Stan Lee.
But it's a good point. He drank some of it, and his character supposedly, died or whatever. We don't know. But now it's because stuff. Now, my wife has a theory on what's going to happen here.
That they're going to explain it as them being genetically related, and therefore her getting some of his blood would affect her in a similar way because they are biological cousins. However, doesn't explain how she gets it from getting blood on her rather than getting blood transfused into her veins.
Maybe it's a cut or something? Who knows?
I have no idea.
What I think is, you're giving them too much credit, honey. You see, here's my theory. My theory is it's never gonna get brought up.
And yours is probably the one that's gonna happen.
Somehow, Palpatine has returned. Somehow, She-Hulk is Hulk now.
Shocking.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and get excited for next product. It's just not something that's interesting.
Yeah.
It is sad because She-Hulk is a great character and could have been a really good show.
But this whole thing looks so cheesy.
But the thing is, they could have leaned into that. Like, I've seen the posters for it. Like, they have posters that is like 1-800 super lawyer
Superheroes need a super lawyer. Call today.
I go green so you can get green.
It's clever advertising, I won't lie about that.
But it's just sad because they didn't do this justice. You could tell it's sloppily done, and we've heard all about the visual effects artists and the problems they've been having with that.
Yeah, that they've been overworked and underpaid.
It shows.
Oh, it does.
Can't wait to not watch.
Indeed. Moving on. Next up we have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Slay Queen! Though Marvel continues to officially stay tight-lipped on just which of his allies will take up the claws of Wakanda's ruling position following the passing of Chadwick Boseman, a recent update to LEGO's official website regarding the brand's upcoming Black Panther Wakanda Forever sets has seemingly confirmed the identity of T'Challa's successor.
And as we all guessed, it's Shuri.
Is anyone surprised? Show of hands.
There are no hands.
We're also getting Aztec Namor and Ironheart, and I could care less.
The only thing I'm curious about is if they're deciding to make Namor an Aztec, if there are no on-screen human sacrifices with the full-on blood and gore to its utmost peak, I will be disappointed.
This is Disney Marvel, honey.
Oh right, they're not going to show them cutting out people's hearts. Then again, it's underwater, so can they even cut out people's hearts without losing all that blood? Because the blood is supposed to go to their gods.
It's Disney Marvel.
So no human sacrifices.
We'll be lucky if we see any blood.
Especially in Blade. Sigh.
I'm just not interested in this version of Namor. I'm not interested in this version of Black Panther. Obviously, I think that Chadwick Boseman's passing is very bad, and it's sad that it had to be this way.
But they should have recast T'Challa.
Yes, Chadwick Boseman would have not wanted that to happen. And again, someone made a very good point. If Tom Holland passed away, God forbid, they wouldn't never cast Spider-Man again.
Mm-hmm. Spider-Man has been cast 3 or 4 times in the past.
But we have to do that for T'Challa because reasons?
I don't know. My other question is, why do the Atlanteans or Talakians look like Pandorans from Avatar?
Because CGI is expensive.
I guess? Is anyone else seeing that, or is it just me? They look like they're from Pandora.
Yeah, but you know what? At this point, honestly, I don't expect them to do anything cool. The fact is that they're introducing Ironheart again. I'm making this very clear. Don't care how they do it. Ironheart is a garbage character.
Mm-hmm.
She is a garbage character. She will always be a garbage character. And if you do not agree, that is totally your choice. However, I will never accept it as a huge fan of Iron Man. And the fact that they're doing Armor Wars and all this kind of stuff without Tony is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is going to be the last movie of Phase 4. Doesn't interest me.
Me neither, not at all. The first Black Panther movie I thought was great.
To be fair, in time, I can say the movie was okay. I didn't enjoy it maybe as much as other Marvel movies. Now, it wasn't because of anything in particular. It just wasn't as good of a quality as I thought it would be. It was pretty good for what it was.
Mm-hmm. I know my mom really likes it because it was a great representation of African culture.
And just a disclaimer, Namor does not have a tattoo of Black Panther Shuri on his back. That's just my fun.
I'm pretty sure they figured that out, honey. But then again, I don't think anyone would be surprised if it were real.
I don't know at this point. But yeah, not that interested in this, not planning to watch it, but good luck with that. We go from Marvel Phase Bore to Marvel Phase Dive.
Yay! No one cares. Let's move on. Next up, we have Knights of the Old Republic. KOTOR for short.
Sources claim that Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake has been indefinitely delayed as the developer allegedly made the decision to pause the project.
No one is surprised by this.
Yeah, they hired someone who was like a really progressive person, and they had a writer on it, which again, why would you need a writer for a remake?
Because you would only have a writer for a game that was already introduced in the remake of that game if you were going to change the script.
Which they seemed like they were planning to do, and then they had all this trouble and it's been put on pause. Do I think this is the last we've heard of this?
Probably not.
No. But, can I say that I'm surprised? No.
Yeah.
And am I kind of relieved? Yes. Now, I'll be 100% honest. Neither I nor my wife have played Knights of the Old Republic.
I think after this I might.
We'll see. Regardless, I'm glad they're not touching it because Disney does not need to get their hands on things that are actually good Star Wars-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this will stop them.
Probably not.
If this game does not get developed, they will find another way because they always do.
Maybe they'll reprint the novelization version.
Who knows? Regardless, not surprising. They're having a lot of trouble with visual effects artists right now. I honestly think they don't need a writer for this. You just take what was already made and you just update the visuals. That's what you do.
That's normally what you would do in a remake. You wouldn't add stuff that didn't need to be there. You literally just make it higher quality.
But for inclusion and diversity, they must add this. And if you don't like it, you are a sexist, homophobic, bigot. Boop, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop. Give us money. Don't think this is the last we've heard of this. Hopefully it stays on pause forever.
Yeah, let's just hope they keep it on hiatus.
Like with Rian Johnson's trilogy.
Oh yeah, whatever happened with that?
It's on pause.
Forever.
Yeah, put it on ice. Just not that salt planet, because that wasn't nice.
I was thinking Frozen in Carbonite, but okay.
Whatever. Either way, this should have the same fate. Okay? Cool.
Let's move on. But on the topic of Star Wars, bringing in our final client of the week, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This is not the sexuality you were looking for.
This is such a bad idea. I can't believe they did it.
You have a bad feeling about this?
You might say that.
In the latest example of Disney's almost fetishistic desire to both retcon Star Wars continuity and lazily identity swap the numerous classic pop culture icons that have come under their ownership in the recent years, the upcoming prequel-era novel Star Wars Padawan features a moment which implies that Obi-Wan Kenobi is bisexual.
And this is wrong on so many freaking levels.
The problem with this is I got in a lot of arguments about this online, and here's the thing. This adds nothing to the character. Mm-hmm. He is a spacefaring, laser sword wielding monk.
Jedi are warrior monks. Literally, warrior monks.
Now, he did have a relationship with Duchess Satine in the Clone Wars,
which possibly resulted in them having a kid in the form of Satine's nephew, who she only calls a nephew.
Whatever. Regardless, and I'm not even gonna read this, most people have, but you can see it on there. It's basically him talking with someone who has a non-binary shape-shifting partner.
So a changeling?
And basically saying like, I can't form attachments that way, but this guy is okay with Obi-Wan and wants to experiment with him, and he's like has like this internal dialogue of like, oh, do I want to kiss that boy? Do I want to kiss only women? Do I want to kiss... Jedi don't do that.
Also, keep in mind, in this time frame, Obi-Wan is still a Padawan, meaning he's still a minor.
But it's okay, because if it's inclusion and diversity and it adds absolutely nothing to the character and it's just a cheap, hollow virtue signal like Disney likes to do, it's fine, right?
Yeah, because they don't think age matters anymore.
It's not even that. The people who are clapping for this, A, it's never going to be brought up again. B, the character's already dead.
Yep.
And C, you're now telling Disney that you're okay getting hand-me-down characters and getting characters retconned and changed rather than create brand new original characters who are non-binary or whatever you want to call them and having their own story arcs. No, instead, we get Geode the Sentient Rock.
Yes.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Unfortunately, this is horrible.
Yeah, so just throwing that out there again, if you're okay with this change, I mean, you can be okay with it, I guess. I'm never going to be. If you challenge me with it online or you challenge my wife, we're all going to just tell you that Obi-Wan is straight. And guess what? It's not because we're homophobic or anything. It's because this is a cheap, hollow virtue signal. It is so apparent. And the fact that people are so quick to judge anybody who doesn't like it as homophobic or whatever just shows that A, you guys are not actually caring about what representation you get, and B, that all you really want is to find a reason to be mad.
Yeah, what he said. This is just not going to end well, if it ends at all.
It's just never going to be brought up again, just like Nightcrawler's being a demon was never brought up again.
Half demon, but okay.
Whatever. But as old Obi-Wan would say, this is not the sexuality you're looking for.
Old Obi-Wan is probably rolling in his grave.
Hey Disney, you want to go home and rethink your life.
We want to go home and rethink our lives.
Seriously, instead of race swapping and gender swapping things, how about you go home and rethink your lives? Like maybe who you have employed. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I would do so. Moving on. And with that being our final client of the day, it is time to reveal the diagnosis of the week.
And we have an interesting diagnosis for you today.
Do tell.
The diagnosis of the week is solipsism.
Please explain.
Solipsism is a psychological idea that only one's mind is sure to exist. Basically, it's anything outside one's mind is unsure and cannot be known and may not exist. What does this have anything to do with what's going on here? Well, basically, these creators these days live in their own little worlds within their own heads. Nothing outside of that exists. If they see something and they want inclusion and diversity, and there's so few people who actually want that, they don't care, because outside of their mind, none of the other people exist. And if they do exist, they're obviously trolls and toxic fans and whatever. And they just need to move aside. So these people are so sure of their own minds that no one else who has an opinion that doesn't coincide with theirs can be anything but a troll, a bigot, a homophobe, whatever it is. We see this reflected in many different areas of fandom, especially these days, and so that's why I feel this is a really great fit for today's diagnosis.
I agree. It does work.
And now we move on to the remedy of the week.
And this week we are sending you to Anna That Star Wars Girl, one of the biggest Star Wars channels on YouTube. Really nice person.
We haven't really had a chance much to interact with her much, because she is so well known and so popular. But we did want to throw some attention her way because she made a great video covering Obi-Wan Kenobi and the whole bisexual thing, as well as other Star Wars news. She was recently at Anime Matsuri. Now, she's 10 times the size of us, if not more. But we did want to throw it out there because this part is not just about promoting people, it's also about sending people to content that we find interesting or exciting. And so we wanted to take the time to do that.
So grab your paintbrushes
and your lightsabers
and let her know that Gothic Therapy referred you.
Indeed. So that's all we have for this week. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and also make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss your weekly therapy session.
Or you will be charged. So smash those buttons like they're bad kitties. And also consider joining the channel at the dusk, midnight, or dawn levels. We really would appreciate it. You can also find links to all of our socials in the description below, as well as links to our merch store and our Discord server known as The Clinic. Be sure to check them out.
But yeah, that's all we have for this week, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Gothic Therapy, out.